In this video, we will ponder the life of the Coast Salish in the San Juan Islands. First, we will look at interaction. A red cedar house post sculpture in Friday Harbor tells the story of the San Juan Islands. Next, we will head over to English Camp and look at what is left of a large shell midden which today still stretches along the entire shoreline fronting the former British settlement. Lastly, we will look at the incredible Coast Salish story poles at English Camp, representing the way of life of the Coast Salish people that once lived there long before the British. The San Juan Islands were the traditional fishing, harvesting, and gathering place of several tribes belonging to the Coast Salish peoples since time immemorial. These people included the Nooksack and Northern Straits groups, which consisted of the Lummi, Clallam, Sonic, Samish, and Lekwungen, and possibly even other native peoples. In 1855, when the Treaty of Point Elliott was signed to establish the reservation system, at least 11 Lummi villages were occupied in the San Juan Islands at that time, including a village on San Juan Island believed to be the original home of the Lummi people. Today, the Lummi, Samish, and Swinomish have fishing rights in the San Juan Islands.
Since time immemorial, Coast Salish tribes indigenous to this area have called the San Juan Islands home.
This wooden sculpture here is called Interaction, and it's by a native artist named Susan Point. This is a red cedar house post sculpture honoring the enduring presence of the Coast Salish people in this area. Originally used inside a longhouse to support roof beams, traditional house posts tell the stories of the family that raised them. Interaction speaks of the San Juan Islands. We care for the environment and the responsible interaction between people and wildlife. Susan Point is from the Musqueam band of Coast Salish, whose lands include the mouth of the Fraser River in Canada. So this is from an interpretive panel in Friday Harbor. It's a quote from Dr. Wayne Suttles. For centuries, San Juan Island was home to the Coast Salish people who spoke the language now called Northern Straits. There were villages on Garrison Bay and Mitchell Bay, and perhaps elsewhere on the island, and the many shell middens still visible are evidence of seasonal use. Men worked with wood, making the great houses of wide cedar planks held to posts and beams. And they made the canoes that were necessary in this marine environment. Women made cattail and tulle mats that lined the plank houses for warmth in winter and served as tents at summer camps. And they made beautiful blankets of dog wool and duck down. The Northern Straits people trolled for Chinook and coho salmon and set reef nets for sockeye and pink salmon. They caught halibut in the bank off American Camp and lingcod and rockfish off rocky shores. They hunted deer with bow and arrow or caught them in nets. They caught ducks in great nets fastened to poles, as at Pole Island in Mosquito Pass near English Camp. They gathered shellfish, picked berries, and harvested camas bulbs and other plants that grew on the prairies, such as the one at American Camp. Later, when the prairies were dry, they set fires to control the encroaching forest and keep them productive. They care for the land that sustained them. Their stewardship is our inheritance. End quote. When the Royal Marines landed here in March 1860, they found the remains of an Indian village, likely used for 1,000 years. A clamshell and bone refuse heap, a midden 900 feet long and 350 feet wide, stood on the site. Clams were abundant in the bay and a staple food for the Indians. The Marines found parts of an Indian lodge too, estimated to be 600 feet long by 60 feet wide. They dismantled the lodge and spread the clamshells to accommodate 13 bell tents and 2 larger officer tents. It makes sense to me that This would have been the location of a Native American village. We're in this really protected bay. I mean, right now, like, the waters are really calm and it's really flat right here. I could see it. And it makes me wonder, if we look along the shoreline, if we'll be able to see any evidence of that former shell midden. So we will take a look. The interpretive panel back there said that there was once this really large shell midden that went from one end of this area to the other, and you can actually still see signs of it. We're not supposed to cross this fence. It's saying this is a sensitive habitat area, but if you look along here, you can see a layer of midden just right here at the ground surface going down to where the salt grass starts, and it runs. I can see it all the way from the blockhouse going in that direction. Basically, you can see lots of different kinds of shells in a dark organic matrix or a dark soil. And in fact, right here, you can see some midden coming through the grass. These different shells in this really dark soil. It's pretty cool. So you see midden, you know that there was people living right here. Even though it's disturbed, I mean, right now we're walking on shell midden. All of this area, the parade field, as it leads to the shoreline, has shell midden underneath it.
So here at English Camp, we have some Coast Salish story poles. The story poles to the left and right are male and female salmon, and then the one in the middle is a reef net captain. These story poles were carved from cedar and gifted to the park by 2 master carvers from local tribes.
The center pole represents the shwala, or reef net, flanked by carved figures of the female and male salmon. Together, they share the story of reef netting, a sophisticated fishing technology created by Coast Salish people of the San Juan Islands, and the deep relationship between the people and the salmon that sustain them. You definitely can see a person there with a net with fish in it. Looks like net weights along this rope coming down. It's pretty cool. If you find yourself on San Juan Island, take a little time to learn about the first people that lived there. Well, that's our video on the Coast Salish people on San Juan Island. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, share, comment on this video, and please subscribe to this channel.